Hello everybody and welcome back to Masu Pro Wrestling. I'm your host and sole commentator, Masu Pro Wrestlington. And tonight we're going to be starting off with Icon Division Singles Competition. And it will be Garreth Unported starting us off, so we know that this is not a number one contendership tournament match for the Icon Division Championship. And it looks like Garreth Unported is coming out with a new look. A new song. I think our suspicions have been answered that Garreth Unported has been excommunicated from his group. Cut out. No longer able to be a number one contender for the Icon Division Championship. Seems to be the straw that broke the camel's back for Garreth, and he's been kicked out of the group that he formed with MerlinGTB. I mean, that just shows what kind of person Merlin is, to throw away someone that you started with, grew up with in this business, came in through this. Garreth is going to go one-on-one. First fall to a finish against none other than a horse that he knows very, very well. One of the most dominant openweight champions, one of the most dominant Icon Division champions in MPW history. It is none other than the Super Naiyan himself, Bonk. We've seen Bonk and Garreth go at it many times, but we've never seen Garreth go at Bonk like this. I mean, you have to wonder what's going through Garreth's head, if this is going to be affecting his in-ring ability. Does he have the voice in his head telling him he's no longer good enough, he doesn't have a place to be, or is Garreth got a new fire lit under him, coming out here to prove that, you know, he never needed Merlin, he never needed Emrys. He can do this by himself. Someone that came out as one of the top stars from the first season, Garreth Unported, from overall wins and losses. I mean, a lot of those definitely came with the help of Merlin, but he's held the Icon Division Championship before. He's held gold. He won the first ever Golden Opportunity match. You know, Garreth's no slouch. Though, unlike the time that Merlin and Garreth played everybody into thinking they had broken up, Garreth has a whole new look, whole new theme song, whole new everything. Branding has changed. So we'll see. And of course, Bonk wants to go into this match, pick up a win, because Bonk isn't in the number one contenders tournament. So Bonk wants to impress the boss upstairs, say, hey man, I still got it in me to become the Icon Division champion. If Zarataro can hold on to the championship, Bonk may just be a challenger in his weight. Hammers being thrown from the crowd at me. My job is not an easy one. What is going on back there? Someone's sending off pyrotechnics in the back. It's not MamaInu's entrance yet. Garreth versus Bonk. Ooh, Garreth coming straight out the gate with a flurry of punches and an inverted neck breaker. I'm a professional, I'll do my job. Gotta say, you know, I don't want to be a biased competitor. Super kick to the legs. Backflip, deadlift, German from Garreth. I gotta say the black and silver is looking quite nice on Garreth. You know, as someone who's been quite critical of Garreth's career, it's good to see him shed a few pounds in Merlin, you know, finally go out on his own. And it seems like Garreth, from the start of this match, he is showing off so far. Ooh, got caught. Commentator's curse, sit-out powerbomb, eviscerating Garreth. And a DDT. Commentator's curse as Garreth is reminded just exactly what kind of person, what kind of horse he's up against. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, but you can certainly punch him. Hanging bonk to dry. And Garreth looking for that early cover. 1 count. And early 1 count. Off the ropes. Beautifully done. Just nobody home for that one. Rolls through the chop. Shoulder and elbow tie up. Rolls through. Fails the German, but connects with the Pele kick. And over the middle ropes, these high-flying maneuvers just not doing him any favors. Northern Light suplex. Holds over again. Catches him for a suplex brainbuster style maneuver. Didn't quite see that, but dropped him on his head on the floor. I mean, unfortunately for Garreth, he's uneligible from the Icon Division Championship, but he's putting the Icon Division on notice right now in this matchup. Bonk flexing, maybe trying to get into the head of Garreth, this time connecting with the springboard, flexing similarly to Merlin, how Merlin would flex his magic muscles, trying to get into the head of his opponent here. Busting the nose of the Super Naiyan, flattens him. Can't let his taunting get in your head if you want to pick up a win. Garreth's going to have to pull out all the stops to put away someone like Bonk. Fireman's carry into a detonation kick. And it looks like Garreth is already setting up the countdown for the high caliber. Clipping the Super Naiyan in the jaw, kick out of 2. And Bonk is looking to have a new crown. Ooh, brown crown. Nobody was home. Not calculated by Garreth. And a Bonk, a Uranagi. I'm not a Nagi, you're a Nagi. And a Spirit Blast, a Beam Clash, blocked. Beam Clash, reversal into a Northern Lights suplex by Bonk. Now getting a little bit of a combo. Palm strikes and kicks, and a Beam Clash this time connecting. Very close to the ropes though. 1, 2, 3. Ooh! Referee had the 3 count. And an unfortunate matchup, or unfortunate loss for Garreth. Held the bottom ropes. Referee didn't see it. Counted the 3. The bad luck continues for Garreth. The bad luck continues as Bonk revels in another victory. As we will move on to the third and final number 1 contenders match. Who will face FlairZero and who will face Merlin in the triple threat next week for the number 1 contendership for the Icon Division Championship? We'll find out next. It is time to cap off the number 1 contenders tournament. Who will be the last member to enter the triple threat next week for the Icon Division number 1 contendership for Zarataro's Icon Division Championship? Starting us off is none other than the former Icon Division champion himself, Dragthulu, who was very, very close last month, nearly getting that championship, losing it, and inevitably Potato getting that opportunity against Zarataro, which Zarataro showed an impressive matchup against Potato at All on the Line. Just complete domination lack of a better word, against Potato. So can any of these three put Zarataro away? Will Dragthulu be meeting Flair in the finals, in that final triple threat, or will his opponent here tonight be the one to pick up the win? This is going to be an interesting match. I mean, we've seen Flair versus Dragthulu, but the many a times, but they've just grown so many times where I feel like Flair has finally got the edge on Dragthulu. Can Dragthulu steal the championship opportunity right from under him? Or will Merlin pull it off? Or will the fourth and final competitor in this tournament, actually the sixth and final competitor in this tournament, the fourth one left, be the one to make their way into the triple threat? Dragthulu has not seen gold in months. He's had a drought for a while. Some like Flair have never even had an opportunity or a run. Dragthulu's had a drought for a while in his championships, so he's looking for one. But speaking of someone in a drought, it is SleepyPengu, the challenger. SleepyPengu coming off a loss against a bear. So you think maybe if Sleepy makes it to the finals, Flair might have his number. Flair to get into the triple threat, beat a bear. Merlin to get into the triple threat, beat Greg. And the third and final member will be decided in this match here tonight. SleepyPengu or Dragthulu, former champion versus former champion. SleepyPengu versus Dragthulu here tonight. One-on-one, first to a fall, tap out, or pinfall, or TKO, give up. Countouts. Who will come out on top and earn their shot for the Icon Division Championship? Sleepy rolls under, dropping the knee onto the leg, just twisting the leg of Dragthulu. Dragthulu is a pretty dominant competitor, but we saw someone like Potato, who hasn't had much success in the title opportunity runs, go up against him, pick up an underdog win, an upset victory, if you will. Could that happen again? SleepyPengu, I wouldn't say Sleepy or Dragthulu is better than the other, but could we see SleepyPengu get a win here, move himself to the finals, get himself into that triple threat match, and earn himself another title shot? These two being the final competitors leaves it that Flair is the only member left that has never held the Icon Division Championship. Merlin is a former champion. Dragthulu is a former champion, and Sleepy is a former champion. Sleepy and Dragthulu are going to take it to the outside. There are some things outside that can only be handled on the outside. And Dragthulu is just darting him with these punches. And a inverted suplex, dropping his full front onto the concrete. If we get a double countout, this does turn into a singles match between Merlin and Flair, I suppose. I guess that would be something to consult the bosses upstairs about. So you definitely don't want to get a double countout. And Dragthulu is keeping that in his thoughts. You don't want to get a countout at all, but definitely not a double countout. Ooh, spinning kick ducked by Sleepy for the first one. Caught him with a spinning heel kick from Dragthulu, expertly done. Dragthulu looking for a kick, though. Gotta stop focusing on the glitz and glamour and focus on the person in front of you, and that's SleepyPengu. Professional wrestling is both a competition and an art form, and sometimes you got to throw the art supplies out the window and just paint the canvas with your opponent's blood. Dragon suplex into a bridge pin, kick out. Working over the arm, the submission specialist, TheSleepyPengu, working over the arm. Sleepy could potentially put Dragthulu to sleep tonight. Give him some NyQuil and put him to bed with a go to Sleepy or the Sleepy hold. And Sleepy is hyped up. He's not ready for bed just yet. Ooh, going to drive Dragthulu off the apron. Dragthulu got the knee up, though. Head colliding with the knee gets Dragthulu in the corner. But Dragthulu fights out of it. Just a swift kick to the gut. Planting his boot firmly into his liver. And now Sleepy in a similar position that Dragthulu was in. But Dragthulu be able to capitalize. Wanted to keep Sleepy in the ring. Doesn't want to stay outside for too long. Or maybe wants to create separation, catch his breath a bit. Sleepy catches him half and half, rotates him, and perfectly transitions into a pinfall kick out at one. Dragthulu was prepared for that. Snapmare. Drops the knee and busts open TheSleepyPengu. Covers him and kicks out at one. Flipping Sleepy around. Dragon suplex. Catching him with the bridge pin for the #1 contendership. No, or for the shot at the #1 contendership. To get into the #1 contendership match. Going for the Abyssal Tombstone. Sleepy trying to fight out of it. Butterfly. Reversal. Dragthulu trying to maintain that control. But it's so back and forth right now. Inverted suplex. Sleepy's back up. Ooh, flying single leg drop kick. Kung Fu movie style from Dragthulu. As Drag's going to go to the middle rope. The less magical middle rope. Flying forearm. Off the top with a little bit of a knee strike, I think, put in there. Sleepy is looking worse for wears, but as I say that, commentators curse for Dragthulu. Sleepy starting to get a little bit of offense back into it. Sleepy finally getting some offense back into this matchup. Looking to twist. Slow it down, brother. Working the limbs, trying to target the arm, but Dragthulu back up and at him. Knee strike. And an axe kick to the back of the head. That is an incredibly damaging and dangerous move. Strikes to the back of the head are no joke, and Sleepy just took one at full force. That might be the beginning of the end for TheSleepyPengu here. Send Sleepy back into the ring. Now Dragthulu looking to go up top. Elbow drop to the shoulder blades of TheSleepyPengu. And Sleepy spinning kick. Spinning heel kick, rolling heel kick. Sleepy trying to get as much offense off as he can with the momentum in his favor. Knee strikes to the head. Sleepy's got Dragthulu up, and Dragthulu's on Dream Street. Sleepy once again just trying to work the limbs, but Dragthulu fights out of it. Abyssal Tombstone! Can he connect with it this time? He does! Sleepy's legs in the ropes, though, could potentially cause a problem. Dragthulu realizes this. Pulls Sleepy away from the ropes. But did that give Sleepy enough time to recover? It did not. I think that axe kick combined with the Abyssal Tombstone was what put Sleepy out on his feet, out cold. And Dragthulu is the third man to go into the #1 contendership match. Flair is on notice. They can't keep these two away from each other. Dragthulu looking for another title shot, the one that he almost had at All on the Line. This time maybe will be his opportunity, as we will move on to a Idol Division #1 contenders match. The #1 contenders tournament match. We will see you guys there. All right, it is time for the Idol Division #1 contenders match to determine who will be in that #1 contenders match with Rocky. Starting us off will be GlitchyBasturds. And if I'm Rize, you know, you're celebrating with the Shogunate, but I'm watching this match carefully, as Glitchy is one of those people that just seems to have Rize's number. Someone that Rize's worked with in the past with, but a completely different beast since then. And I mean, much like T, Glitchy has held victories over Rize a plethora of times. So if we see Rize versus Glitchy, it could be very dangerous for Rize going up one-on-one with Glitchy for her first title defense. Glitchy also coming off of a win against MamaInu. And speaking of wins over Rize, Emrys Morgana coming off of a win against Rize, against the champion, looking for her opportunity at the Idol Division Championship. In her corner, of course, always ever so close, MerlinGTB following behind. A very, you know, when we see Merlin with Garreth, and, you know, even Merlin with Emrys and Garreth, Merlin's all jumpy, he's up in here, but it seems like he's a much low energy Merlin. But Emrys Morgana making her way. Can Emrys Morgana put away Glitchy, solidifying her position in the Idol Division #1 contendership match? Rocky has already beat Usaino to earn her spot. Emrys versus Glitchy. Emrys has won the Openweight Championship. Glitchy has held the Idol Division Championship 3 times and has held an Openweight Championship. Definitely, I would say the underdog coming into this match would be Emrys, but with Merlin in the corner, anything could happen. Emrys has cheated her way to victories. Emrys cheated her way to that Openweight Championship match, or Openweight Championship victory. And Glitchy diving in front of the Front Canadian commentators table. And now just targeting the back of Glitchy. We saw Emrys last week backstage talking to Garreth Unported, where they seemed to have a conversation that didn't go into Gareth's favor. And, you know, speculate as you must, or as you will, but we don't see Garreth here at ringside with Emrys, and we didn't see Merlin or Emrys at ringside with Garreth, so it seems like they ooh, what is we're getting real close to 8 count. I was gonna say we're getting really close to the 10 there. Glitchy makes it back to the ring, so say what you will, but it seems like Garreth is officially no longer part of the group. And whether Emrys made that decision or was a mutual decision between her and Merlin, who can say? Ooh, flying clothesline just tossed off by Glitchy in a pop-up punch. The height and weight and strength advantage goes to Glitchy, but when it comes to technical wrestling, Emrys Morgana might just have her beat. If Emrys can out-wrestle the Giant, that's going to be her way to victory. Jawbreaker. and flattening Glitchy. Glitchy wants the 4th championship. She wants to be known as a 4-time champion. Emrys Morgana getting Glitchy into the ropes. Sending Glitchy off the ropes. Jumps over, jumps over again. And a spinning back shoulder, back elbow. Taking Glitchy down. And like I said, out wrestling. The hemlock is applied. The hemlock was the move that won her the Openweight Championship on Zarataro. A deadly submission hold sidewalk slam, though. Glitchy getting out of it. It's a little bit too soon to call it. You have to wear her down a little bit more if you want to get Glitchy to tap, but that's going to be some damage dealt to Glitchy. That might come back to haunt her later in this matchup. And now Glitchy's just choking Emrys in the corner. Referee's trying to break it up. And Glitchy letting that little bit of that demon back out of her. Glitchy going up top. Right in front of Merlin. I think we might know what Glitchy's going for here. Nope. I was thinking of the clothesline off the top rope, but Glitchy thought against it. Sidewalk slam this time. That move has ended matches from Glitchy. Will it end this one? 2. Kick out of 2, though. All that strength and power you have to use just to kick out from Glitchy. Goozles Emrys. And Glitchy say it, putting Rize on notice with the frame drop. 1, 2, kick out of 2, though. Rize shouldn't be the only one she's worried about as Emrys keeps herself alive in this match. Leg drop, reverse drop kick. Emrys has got to think about something to keep this match alive, keep her chances afloat, because she is on a sinking ship. Double choke toss. Glitchy going back up top. Will we see the clothesline this time? Elbow or knee drop. Didn't quite get it. Hit Emrys a little bit. Now Emrys just disrespectfully kicking the face of Glitchy, rubbing the boot in the eyes. Emrys Morgana talking down to Glitchy, trying to get into her head. Basement drop kick, but Glitchy isn't one to listen to her opponents. Taking Glitchy down, like I said, out wrestle, out win. Drop kick to the shoulder blades. Emrys going up top this time. For the first time in the match, Emrys is going to go up high. Splash! Out from the just outer orbit of space. Hemlock, the second hemlock applied, really close to the ropes though, but we could see Glitchy tap here. Glitchy could potentially tap to the hemlock if she stays in for too long, and as I say that, out wrestle, out win. Emrys Morgana has just made Glitchy tap to the hemlock, earning her shot in the Idol Division's #1 contender match. She will be meeting Rocky in their triple threat. But who will be the third idol to join them? We'll see in our main event tonight. Emrys Morgana moving on as we will see who will follow her next. It is time for the main event of the evening, and the final person to enter the Idol Division #1 contendership match will be determined here tonight. And we are starting off with none other than B.A. Tycho's good little soldier, Blueness. We've talked, this has been a very Garreth-centric show. We've talked a lot about Garreth Unported, but I would be remiss not to mention that Blueness was the one to put Garreth away in the War Games match at All on the Line, causing all this turmoil for Garreth. You know, when it comes, at the end of the day, Blueness is the one, the coalition are the one that have put Garreth in the position he's at right now. But now can the Coalition, they've had very bad luck in the Icon division. Can Blueness continue their streak of outperforming the rest of the boys in the Coalition and prove to be a Tycho that they're Idol Division champion material? But speaking of Idol Division champion material, it is your former reigning and defending MPW Openweight champion, ShmeepsWorld. One of the most dominant Openweight champions we've seen to date. Former Idol Division champion. Now looking for another Idol Division championship after losing the Openweight championship to Ayasu in Ayasu's debut singles match. I mean, there's a little bit of a trend going along with the Openweight champions, and Shmeeps might just be the one to continue it. It's happened with Bonk. It's happened with Zarataro. It's happened with Dragthulu. Whenever an Openweight champion loses that Openweight championship and is thrust into a World Championship match, they've been able to pick up the win. I believe it also happened with Glitchy. But of course, just because Shmeeps was one of the... Shmeeps showing Blueness how it's done right here. You love to see it. It's spinning head scissor to open the match. Blueness was the Ultimate Openweight champion, the winner of the Ultimate Openweight Championship tournament in Season 1. So they have a similar experience with Openweight Championship matches, Openweight Championship challenges. Of course, Blueness unfortunately never won the championship. Blueness has never held any gold in MPW. But can they do it this time? Goes for the cover on Shmeeps. Shmeeps coming off of the loss. Still got to be sore from last week. Fighting out Blueness over the top rope. Springboard forearm. This will be the third and final member of the Idol Division #1 contendership match for Rize's Idol Division Championship. We just saw Emrys secure her slot. And previously we've seen Rocky beat Usaino. Can Blueness pick up the win, or will it be like the Icon Division and two former champions will be in that triple threat match? ShmeepsWorld had a very hard-fought fight last week, but was unable to pick up the win. And you really can't take anything away from her. She put all she had on there. She left her everything she had in the ring. And it looks like she's planning to do the exact same here tonight. Hurricane Run off the middle rope. And now Blueness playing a little bit of cat and mouse with ShmeepsWorld. And a spine buster. A la the bear. Shades of the bear. And a white noise! Jesus, onto the floor! Throwing Shmeeps into the ring. 4 count. Blueness not wanting to lose via count out roll through double stomp. Beautifully done, keeping Shmeeps thinking what's coming next. Blueness has had a very dominant run recently, especially ever since joining BA Tycho and the Coalition. They have just been on top of the Idol Division. Can they cement that run with a championship? Blueness up top. Maybe already planning to put Shmeeps in her place. DDT, diving DDT from the top rope. Sweeps Blueness's legs. Of course, it's not going to be that easy. Standing shooting star press by ShmeepsWorld. It's not going to be that easy to keep Shmeeps down. One of the most decorated members of the Idol Division. Spinning back slap. Blueness. Butterfly backbreaker. And Shmeeps is going to try and maybe roll through the ropes, try to get some space from Blueness, but Blueness driving Shmeeps off the apron, climbing up like Spider-Man onto the top rope. Elbow drop to the floor, but crashing and burning this time. As Shmeeps is nowhere to be seen, Static Spanish fly onto the floor. Kip up. Floats over into a DDT position, but Blueness doesn't want to get their head bashed against the concrete. Fights out of it. Ducks under. And another head scissor just to dizzy him this time. 4 count. Judo toss. Blueness sends Shmeeps back into the ring as the ref reminds them that they got to finish it in the ring if they want to win. Elbow drop this time connecting. Blueness back up top once again. It's a rare sighting, but maybe we'll see it. Once in a blue moon from Blueness. Shmeeps very close to the ropes. 1, 2. Kick out at 2. A near fall. Blueness nearly cementing their spot in the Idol division. Grabbing Shmeeps, this time submission hold locked in. Something a little bit new that we don't see very often from Blueness. Can they make Shmeeps tap? Shmeeps is trying to remove the grip, pull the grip away. Oh my god, rolls through it, but that tight grip, the pull back, the wrenching on the back of ShmeepsWorld, that must have not felt good. Single leg drop kick, and Blueness cutting her off. Jumping DDT. What could Blueness be planning here again? Off the ropes. Spin. Oh, blue moon off the springboard. Spinning blue moon. Oh, rope break. Barely holding on. A blue moon from out of nowhere. From Blueness, super kick, spinning back kick. Blueness putting everything out there. Ooh, uppercut. Clips her. Monkey flip. Blueness has been sent out as a soldier ever since B.A. Tycho brought them into their coalition with one mission in mind: to seek and destroy ShmeepsWorld Superplex. Bo looks to put it away with the Falcon Arrow. Nobody kicks out of the Falcon Arrow, but Blueness getting the shoulder up. An early 2 count for Blueness, an impressive showing. Blueness thinking about what they want to do next. Into the corner. Blueness maybe looking for a moonsault in the corner. Up top, goes for the moonsault. Nobody's home, but flips through it. Catching ShmeepsWorld in the bottom left of the ring. Kick out at 2. Blueness thought they had it. Blueness up top once again. Could this be the final one? 3rd time's the charm to put it to bed. Blue moon connects again. Very close to the ropes, though. Tries to pull the arm away from the ropes. 2, 3, and Blueness will be joining Emrys and Rocky for the #1 contendership. Like I said, B.A. Tycho's good little soldier wants to bring home the Idol division to the coalition. Pull it from the Shogunate's hands and bring it back to the coalition. I mean, a tyrannical ruler like Rize is the perfect treacherous human for the coalition to go after, and Blueness might just be the one to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching Masu Pro Wrestling. We will see you guys next week.